This slideshow is going to be covering the male reproductive system. In our packet, this would start on page 10 and conclude on page 12. So if you can turn to page 10 in your packet, let's get started. So first thing I'd like you to do is to label the diagram. I might not have copied super great, but I think we can figure it out. So I'm going to go counterclockwise today, starting on the top left side of the diagram. So the first term is the word vas deferens, 2 words, vas, V-A-S, deferens, D-E-F-E-R-E-N-S. Below that is bladder, B-L-A-D-D-E-R. Below that, penis, P-E-N-I-S. Below that, urethra, U-R-E-T-H-R-A. Below that, testicles, T-E-S-T-I-C-L-E-S. Bottom of the slide would be scrotum, S-C-R-O-T-U-M. Moving to the right, the next term is epididymis, E-P-I-D-I-D-Y-M-I-S. Moving over to the right would be anus, A-N-U-S. Moving over, we have the bulbourethral gland, B-U-L-B-O-U-R-E-T-H-A-L, gland, G-L-A-N-D. Above that, the prostate gland, P-R-O-S-T-A-T-E, gland. And above that, the seminal vesicles, S-E-M-I-N-A-L, vesicles, V-E-S-I-C-L-E-S. Those three on the far right, the seminal vesicles, the prostate gland, and the bulbourethral gland, those are called accessory glands. These are actually the 3 glands that help to create semen. All right, so let's take a look at this before we get to the definitions. So let's start with the bladder and the anus. So the anus, again, does it just like with the female. It doesn't play any role in reproduction, but it's in the same vicinity. This is just the opening where our solid waste leaves the body. The bladder is where we store urine before it's released from the body. And there's, you can see the bladder is also connected to the urethra, right? So just like with females, the urethra is how urine leaves the body. But you can also see these accessory glands are also kind of coming into play right around here and head out through the urethra as well. So there's a valve up here at the base of the top of the urethra that prevents urine from mixing with semen. All right, so let's see, moving down, let's talk about the testicles. So the testicles are located inside of the scrotum, and the scrotum is outside of the body, right? So the scrotum is just a sac of skin that contains the testicles. Now, the testicles and scrotum are outside of the body because this is where we make sperm. And sperm need to be at just the right temperature in order to be their healthiest. And that temperature is a little bit cooler than body temperature. So that's why the scrotum containing the testes, containing sperm, are outside of the body. All right, so this is where we make sperm, as I said. And then the sperm are going to travel from the testicles to the epididymis. The epididymis is just this J-shaped tube, and sperm will be stored here for a few days. And then the sperm will travel through this long tube called the vas deferens. And then when they get to the vas deferens, they join in with liquid from the seminal vesicles, the prostate gland, and the bulbourethral gland that help to nourish the sperm and give the sperm a fluid to travel in. And then when if a male ejaculates, that fluid called semen now contains the sperm as well, will travel through the urethra and out of the penis. Well, what happens if a male doesn't ejaculate? Nothing. All of that sperm that we're making all the time just gets broken down. You break it down, you make more all the time. Later in this unit, when we cover birth control, one thing that we will talk about is a vasectomy. When a male has a vasectomy, the vas deferens is going to be stitched closed or cut and sealed so that sperm can't travel past this point. So a male will still make sperm and hormones in the testicles, but the sperm would just get to the point where the tube is sealed and the body just breaks it down. The male still ejaculates, though. He still ejaculates because we aren't doing anything to prevent semen from being produced when we have a vasectomy. So we still create semen from the fluids of the accessory glands. So a male still ejaculates after he has a vasectomy. There's just no sperm in the semen. All right, I think that's good for now. Let's go ahead and go through the definitions of each of these. So you'll be filling in the boxes on pages 10 and 11. Starting with the scrotum. As I said, move that. The scrotum is that sac of skin that hangs behind and below the penis, and this is where we hold the testicles. The testicles are two small glands or organs located inside the scrotum. This is where the male makes sperm, and this is also where we produce the male hormone testosterone. So if we wanted to compare the male and the female, we could say that the testicles would be the equivalent of the ovaries in the female. So the testicles is where we make hormones and sperm. For the male, the ovaries is where we make hormones and store all the eggs for the female. The vas deferens is next, and that's that tube that carries sperm out of the scrotal sac. It connects the epididymis to the urethra. So now we're on page 11. The epididymis is next. This is a tightly coiled tube in each testicle where sperm is stored and matured until it's ready to be released during an ejaculation. And then we have our three accessory glands. So these are a set of male glands that produce secretions used in the production of semen. So these glands include the seminal vesicle, and then write 60% for that one, the prostate gland, 35%, and the bulbourethral gland, 5%. So what do those percentages mean? Well, if we add them up, it adds up to 100. So these are the three glands that make up the fluid we call semen. 60% of that fluid comes from the seminal vesicle, 35% from the prostate gland, and the remaining 5% from the bulbourethral gland. The penis is next, and that's just the male external reproductive organ. The urethra is the tube that transports urine from the bladder to the outside. The urethra also transports semen, but never at the same time as urine. So as I said, there's a valve in there that prevents the two from mixing. So when a male ejaculates, it's just semen, and when he urinates, it's just urine. The bladder is a hollow organ located in the lower abdomen, and this is where we store urine until it's emptied through the urethra. And last one, the anus is the opening at the end of the digestive tract where your bowel contents, your solid waste, leaves the body. All right, I'd like you to turn to page 12 in your packet, and you're going to find an activity there called the pathway of sperm. So on page 12, on the top of page 12, excuse me, you have a word bank. You have 9 terms, and you will be using each of those terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You'll be using each of those terms one time to complete the pathway of sperm correctly. So this is from creation of sperm to ejaculation of sperm. And then there's a little side section on a vasectomy there as well. So do your best to complete this, and then we can review this when we're back together in class. As always, if you have any questions, please email me, and I'll be happy to help out. All right, take care.